Hey friends, welcome back to my studio. I am out of bird paintings. I sold them all, which is awesome, last month at my show. So I'm gonna paint a little, I think it's called a white bellied nuthatch. Isn't that cute? I've cropped in on it. I'll link this photo reference. I'll link to the photo reference in this video's description. Here's what the full photo looks like in case that helps you. Okay, I'm going to paint it on a 5" by 5" cradled wood panel from US Art Supply. I've got clear gesso on it. I did that this morning. It's 1.5 inches thick. I think I'm going to use, I'm going to use burnt umber and Prussian blue. I don't know if you can see that without getting glare. And I'm going to, I think, use some cad yellow because underneath, oops, I don't know if I can get my iPad, there we go. Underneath on its backside, it's kind of rusty orange. So I'll mix some yellow in with the burnt umber and hopefully get kind of a raw sienna color. You could use raw sienna, you could use some orange and burnt umber. Okay guys, let's have some fun. Let's set the table. I changed my mind a little bit from the intro. I'm going to use raw sienna. I mentioned it in the intro. I think I said I was going to use yellow. But yellow and burnt umber is going to make a pretty yellow-brown. But I like the little bit of orangey color because I'm going to use some Prussian blue. So they're not opposite the color wheel. Orange and blue are opposite on the color wheel, so they're complementary colors. But these will hint at that. And they'll go well together. So I'm going to use raw sienna, Prussian blue. I have burnt umber, Mars black, and titanium white. I put a bunch of white over here. And I went really slow. I kept adding a little burnt umber, and the Mars black is stronger, so a little less of the Mars black, and made a very pretty putty color. It might look gray on the video, especially with the brown cardboard background. You might be able to see it better. Oh, I'm getting glare and everything. And then all I'm thinking is that the big tree branch the bird's sitting on comes down to about there and goes up to about halfway. So about like that. So I have it a little darker here where the white underbelly is gonna be, and it's okay if I don't get it just right. And then I just made a little lighter here. I can always come back and change it if I don't like it, or if I don't like it with the bird. Just paint the top. Oh, I used a 3/4 inch flat brush from Royal and Langnickel. A lot of times I use a thinner brush. Here, it's wet, so it doesn't look that thick. This one holds a little more paint, which can be nice too. Here, I've done this in other videos. Of course, when it's dry, you can tell it's thicker. You can't really tell here. This one's also Royal and Langnickel. It's thinner, came in a pack of I don't know how many brushes, handful of brushes. Okay guys, I'm gonna let this dry overnight and I'll be back. Oh, excuse me. I started to talk and I made a funny noise. I thought I'd pop in and chat for a minute. I've added Prussian blue to my palette. It's the only heavy body. And raw sienna. And then what's nice is this is a cool putty color. Might even look gray. because as I mentioned, this warm cardboard background. I did lighten it up a little bit because I like, in the reference photo, whoop, I'm just grabbing my iPad here. Things are popping up. I just want the photo. I like, it's quite light here. So I'm thinking about that a little bit over here, not as dramatic. I like all the texture in this large branch because we're cropped in close to the nuthatch. So I got the palette knife out and just started smearing it on. A lot of it just on the bottom of the palette knife, and then it picks up, sometimes the texture of the gesso, the texture of the wood. It's really random and hard to control, but that's okay. I know I have a shadow under my bird, so it's darker under here. It's lighter, a little bit lighter there, darker in the corner. Those are my main goals. Maybe a little closer would help. Oh, there, I'll hold it so it kind of faces the window. Maybe you can see some of it better. So one thing that's happening is it's making me nervous because it's quite strong. But I also know that I can smooth it out. I could come back with a brush and smooth it all out. It's quite thin. I don't really have any thick paint. It all feels smooth for the most part. So I can change it easily with another layer. But I also know that that eye is going to call a lot of attention. I mean, it's a portrait of a bird, which I do quite a bit. I do quite a few portraits. So I know I'll be okay. So I'm going to work on the bird. I'm going to use Prussian blue and black. I don't know if you can see it, but this has a blue hint to it, the black, to me. And I think that's pretty, which is also why one of the raw sienna, because they sort of hint at complements. Blue and orange are complements. So this is a dark, deep purpley blue, and that's a kind of a rusty orange. Okay, guys, I just thought a couple of those comments might help. Oh, you could like put in more highlights, put in some of the black lines, or like just kind of wiggle through it if you want the bark texture more. I'm not sure I want to go that far, but you certainly could. Okay, guys, I'll be back in a bit. Hey guys, I thought I'd pop in. I'm gonna stop for dinner. I've been working on it hour plus, hour and a half. Just the bird. Well, no, I guess part of the branch too. And then I've got another, oh gosh. I don't think it took the background didn't take me an hour. So we'll just say I'm like 2 to 3 hours into this painting, probably closer to 2. I keep forgetting to say that because some of you like to know that. And what the heck am I doing? I'm setting myself up. So I used black and white for the grays, for the beak and the feet. You could put blue in them. I see blue in the reference photo. Put some black in the wing. I might have to paint them again, but it'll remind me where those shapes and stripes are. Put some rusty raw sienna on the back side. I see some blues here, but it's here. Let's do this. It's pretty loose compared to the photo. Does that work? Oh, that works. Oh, I can even go a little bit this way. You know, the eye is light blue. I have it, it's ringed. If you get in there really close, it's actually ringed a lighter gray and the eye is darker. Sometimes I do it the other way. This way where I have darker. We'll see when I build it up. But I'm just gonna build it up. So I'm going to put white here, in through here, and then right in here, and maybe a little up here. And I might make this beak wider again just so it stands out. I don't know. I have a lost edge pretty much because this slightly warmer putty color is awfully close in value to the background putty color. So I'm just working my way up. I keep switching brushes. Some days are like that. This is a really small #1 craft brush. Got it at Michael's. It says Craft Smart on it. I've been using a #4 round from Princeton. I've got a quite worn out 1/4 inch flat brush from Royal and Langnickel. Even the gripper's all yellow now. It's pretty old. I don't know how old it is. And then I don't think I mentioned I used this 1/2 inch flat brush from Royal and Langnickel. It's a #12. It's their Zen line. That worked really nicely for the big branch before I used the palette knife. Oh, and the palette knife, I think this one says #40 from Blick Art Materials. Sometimes I have one that's very similar in shape, but it's a #20. I think that gets us up to speed. Okay guys, I'll be back in a bit. Hey friends, I'm calling it done. Excuse me. I like how, I don't know if soft is the right word, calm. They're calm colors. Sometimes I paint, you know, a lot of times I paint a lot of bright colors. It's fun. But I like this. It's a nice change. I ended up using this little liner brush quite a bit and putting in little details just because it was fun to do. Put a couple of black dots, added a little bit of white. Here, let's take a tour. Okay. I think that's pretty good. I'm standing on my tippy toes to see my phone. Let me know if you give this one a try. Oh, I did paint tail feathers off onto the side. Oh, here's a screenshot maybe. I like it a lot. Painting with thin white, you can build it up and get soft, subtle shading that way. Or you can, you can just mix the values too. You can do it in many different ways. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. It is so fun for me to connect with you. I just love it. I can't thank you enough for your support. It means the world to me. Great big happy art hugs, and I hope to chat with you soon. Bye guys.